Greetings, my sexy audience. My name is Marty, and today I'm bringing back a video I should have made in November as I promised, but I didn't. But instead we're going to make it in January, and hopefully we're going to bring it back and turn it into a series as I wanted it to, the PC gaming builds. So I did one, and that was back in November, and that was a $600 gaming PC build, and I did a few mistakes here and there in that build, so I think I'm actually going to revisit and do another $600 gaming PC build now here in January. Some things have changed as well. But today I want to do a $800 gaming PC build, so without any further ado, let's just go straight into the build. And just in case you want to check out the build for yourself, link will be in the description. I've saved it, it's in PCPartPicker.com, so you can just click on the link and you'll see it right there. So for the CPU, I went with the AMD FX 6300 processor. It is a great processor, it's 3.5 GHz, 6 cores, and for the price you pay, which is around $110, it's really good. Because already we're slowly moving into the future. Some games are starting to use 6-core processor technology. Simply 6 cores, you know. Like Battlefield 4, one great example. That game actually is one of the rare games that now uses 6 cores. Like, well, you don't need 6 cores, but if you do have 6 cores, you're actually going to benefit from it. Because some other, even new games, but other older generation, not generation, but simply older games and games in general still don't use 6-core technology. You might have a 6 or 8-core processor, but it won't use the benefit. It won't benefit from that. But some newer games, including Battlefield 4, start using that. And for the price you pay, this is an incredible processor, seriously. So, and it's also nicely overclockable, blah blah blah, so it's a good processor, just $110. Next up, we have the CPU cooler, which is the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. I don't know much about the CPU cooler. I've never used it myself. Well, I almost haven't used any of these things in this build, but I have heard a lot of great things about the CPU cooler from other people that make these build videos and other people that actually have made builds themselves with the CPU cooler. They say it's really good. It's just $30, so I guess you can't go wrong with it. Cooler Master is a good company, so it's gonna be alright. For the motherboard, we obviously have to choose a AM3 Plus motherboard because of the processor, and we chose the MSI 970A blah 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 G46, whatever the hell that long name is. It's an ATX motherboard. It costs only $80 and supports all the latest technologies: USB 3, PCI Express 3.0, you know, the M3 Plus socket, all the good stuff you might need. The best part about this motherboard is, despite its low price, it actually has multi-card technology. So where you go NVIDIA and do SLI, or go AMD and go Crossfire, you can put multiple graphics cards, which in theory, in some games will give you, well, if you get, for example, 60 frames per second, it'll give you double the performance, so 120 frames per second. It's not always that good. Sometimes, like, it's not always 100% better. It's like, sometimes it's 90, 80, can be sometimes as low as 60% increase, but still, it's an increase. It's only good. So as long as your power supply lets it, and your case, and blah 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 blah, you can do multi-card technology with this motherboard. So for the memory, I chose Crucial Ballistics Sport 8GB DDR3 1600MHz RAM. But the problem is, I was talking to my friend Illness, and this is one RAM stick by 8GB, and it's, I don't know, is that really that big of a deal? But I've heard somewhere that, oh, if you have like 2x4 or 4x2, that's better than one single stick, 8GB. But I don't know, it's still, it was a pretty damn low price. Crucial is a great company. 1600MHz, just $65. I don't know, I think you can't go wrong with this one. So then for the memory, for the hard drive, we chose the Western Digital Caviar Blue. Well, yeah, I made this build together with Illness. It's 1 terabyte. God damn it. It is 3.5 inches, obviously, 7200 RPM internal hard drive. And, you know, Western Digital is a great company, you can't go wrong with it. Caviar Blues are very reliable, very good hard drives, just $60. And originally I thought that for an $800 build we're going to stick with just one single hard drive, but actually at the end we managed to squeeze in a SSD in this build, which is really good. So there's also an SSD in this build, and that is the ADATA Premiere Pro SP900 128GB solid state drive. So if you're going to actually make this build, remember to use these SSD as your boot drive. You put your OS there, your games, your programs, and anything that takes loading times, like anything that needs time to load, put that on the SSD. And other things like media, music, movies, work stuff, things like that, put that on the hard drive, and it's going to be just, your computer's going to be flying. So, moving on, the most interesting part in a gaming PC build, the graphics card. Nothing original. If you've seen my $600 gaming PC build, I've used the same Asus GeForce GTX 762GB graphics card. The only difference is the price has dropped by $15, so now it's not $255, it's $240, so prices do drop. So yeah, but otherwise it's a great graphics card. If like maybe you might want to go AMD, like fully AMD with this build, get like a 270, 280X if you're lucky. Because, like, I don't know, I somehow prefer NVIDIA a lot more, but that's also because I'm a YouTuber and I can benefit a lot from their, for example, GeForce Experience program, which has shadow play, and you can just play games and record, and you can also record the last few minutes of your gameplay which in amazing quality. And, you know, the GTX 760 does have shadow play features built in because of the architecture and blah 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 blah. I'm not going to go too deep into detail because some of you guys might not be interested in that, but the 760 is a great graphics card. It has 2 gigs of video memory, which is good. It has, like, you can check some benchmarking videos. It has very nice frame rates in many of the latest games, like Battlefield 4. With this processor configuration, like this processor combo, all these parts you see right here, this build, I believe on ultra settings, 1080p, this graphics card just absolutely dominates Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is not a problem, so yeah, the 760 is a great graphics card, but it is quite expensive. You can get an AMD card with the same specs, if not even better, for a lower price. Keep that in mind. So if you don't think about maybe recording, you're not really interested in things that NVIDIA is trying to do, like G-Sync, if you don't know what that is, go check it out, or Shadowplay, then maybe you might want to take a look at a AMD graphics card. But to end this build off, we have 2 more parts left. For the power supply, I chose the Corsair Builder 600 watt power supply. It's 80 plus bronze certified, and it costs only $55. Well, that's with a $20 mainland rebate. But yeah, 600 watts, perfectly fine. You're gonna easily power up everything that is in your build. I think you also have quite a lot of room for expansions. Like you can put more hard drives, more SSDs if you want to, more memory, so the power supply will easily power all that up. Now you do have a option to put another graphics card because you do have Crossfire or SLI support, because you know the motherboard allows it. The only problem is you gotta check if this motherboard but the power supply, will it be able to run 2 760s with just 600 watts? It might be, it might not, so I didn't think about SLI in this build because, you know, I've tried to keep into the $800 budget that we had, but yeah, if you want, you can swap out it for a bigger power supply and put in another 760, and you're gonna have an amazing build. And last but not least, for the case, for starters, I actually chose something else. I chose a much more expensive case, but at the end I thought, like, why am I spending so much on a case? It's a goddamn case. Like, yeah, you want it to look cool, but at the same time, I don't know. You can change out the case, but this is a very minimalistic, very nice looking, sleek case. It's by NZXT. It's the Source 210. It's a mid-tower ATX case. It costs only $38, but it's big. It has very nice cable management options, and you can easily put all the stuff you need. Even if you put in 2 graphics cards, you're gonna be just fine. The case is big, and it will allow you to do all of that. So yeah, and in total, this build, as of now, when I'm making this video, costs $760. So you still have $40 to, like, I don't know, buy a nice gaming mouse or a keyboard, or maybe, I don't know, you can, if you don't need an SSD or you don't need that big of a hard drive, you can lower the price of this build, maybe squeeze in Windows 8 or 7 if you don't have it. If you can't get it, like, I don't know, torrent it or get it from your university or something. So yeah, and of course remember, this is just a build. There is no OS, there is no peripherals, no display. So if you're completely new to PC gaming, yeah, you do have to remember, you have to get those things as well. But anyways, guys, that basically is the build. Again, as I said, if you want, you can go and check out in the description down below the PCPartPicker link, and you'll see this build in its full glory. But anyways, guys, my name is Marty. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I really hope that if you guys do enjoy this video as well, like you did the $600 PC build back in November, I'm going to bring more of these. I'm thinking about a $400 build, and maybe again revisiting the $600 build, and so on and so forth. So guys, my name is Marty. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.